What is up, guys? Welcome to Cinco Symposium. Alright, so there's this girl kind of talking about... she doesn't speak very well, but she kind of brings up issues of dating. So we're going to listen to what she says, and we're going to kind of talk about dating right now in general. And, what has the dating sites done to relationships and what's going on. Before we do that, please hit that like button, share the video, subscribe. Let me know what you think about this topic and dating. Is it better? Is it worse? What's happening? What should guys do? What should girls do? A whole lot of questions. Isn't this a big topic? We could go on this for a long time. Let's listen to what this chick says. It's going to be a little bit maddening. Oh my God, I can't stand when people use the word like. It's mostly females, but here we go.
The biggest thing that annoys me in the whole dating world is fucking talking stages. That shit's so annoying. The whole and just the inconsistency in them. I literally hate that so much. But I think that's my biggest thing. It's just
what specifically?
Just the fact of just you
just
word this.
You're I don't know how to articulate my thoughts. There's a problem with young people. God, I'm starting to hate myself now. People, I don't know, young people, I feel that their education is just not what it used to be. I feel like my education wasn't what it used to be. I don't know. I hate when people sound this way, and it sucks because some of my family members do it, and when they do it, I start doing it. It's when you are around someone, you start talking like they do. It's a little upsetting.
In talking stages, and it's just you're labeled that, and it's people are considered you can't you're just confused, and most of the time the girl gets attached or something.
Girl
and
gets
they,
attached.
See it, it's gonna lead to a relationship, and it's always not. And it's just that's my biggest thing is I just hate the whole how talking stages are so normalized. Traditional dating does not exist in this generation.
Okay, so it seems like she's upset about the dating scene and that it's in the talking stages, and then it just ends up going nowhere. So first of all, what do you think has led to that? I agree that I think that this whole online dating thing, and just with how marriage is in general, when you want to look at marriage, I look at marriage and unless you want to have kids and that's your goal, to have children, I don't believe it's honestly, as a man, you should not get involved, or you shouldn't get married. That's just my personal opinion. I am married. I'm glad I'm married. I love my wife. And the deal is I want children, but we have kids and we want more children, but I feel that if you're a guy right now in today's society and you do not want children, I'm confused why you would want to get married. What do you have to benefit? It seems like it's only a risk. It seems like if you get, unless you have nothing and the woman has everything, then I guess you have everything to gain. But for the most part, that's what we see in the dating scene is women are absolutely, it's a generalization. It doesn't always happen, but a generalization that women will not or won't date a guy that is about the same economic level them or lower. Women just don't do it. They will see that guy as a loser or is not worthy of them, and they just refuse to date them. So, and now you have, it's 55% of college students are now females. So you got more and more girls going getting a degree and doing better academically. And we've opened up the workspace in many areas for women to go in, and so women are working more. Women are involved in the workplace. They're moving up in all these positions. They're getting degrees. So naturally, they're making more money. And what you're finding is a lot of studies or talks I've heard is women in their 30s, they chased a career. They've got a good paying job now, and then maybe they're making $70,000, $80,000, and then so now they got to find a guy that's also 30, lower mid 30s, around their age, and they're looking for a guy that wants to start a family and everything, and the guy's out there looking for the same thing, right? And he comes across this woman that goes, or she's got to find a guy that makes that money, which seems to be a little bit probably more difficult. That drastically decreases the amount of available men that are out there by just that fact alone, by the fact that they have to be economically similar to them. So you knock out a bunch of the guys just because of that. And then you look at the dating pool of guys that do have that. the 30-year-old guy that's got a good job, that's looking and wants a family. Well, so now what does he have at his fingertips? Say he doesn't want a family, wants a date. Well, he has, with the dating apps, with Tinder, with Bumble, with everything, he now has access to all these females from 18 years up. And his choice is he could either pick this woman that's 30 years old, maybe has already has some kids, maybe has, a little bit of package, or he could have a 22-year-old girl that's really interested in him, because all the girls that are 20, they used to date guys in college, but now they have access to all these guys that are way older, or not way older, but some years older, that already have careers set up. So you find a lot of college girls aren't really chasing college guys anymore, because the college guy, all he can offer is go to McDonald's and buy her a cheeseburger, while some 30-year-old guy is set in his career, has a car, has his own place, can take her to a lake on the weekend or to go do something. So more and more, you find the older the girls get, the smaller their dating pool is drastically. Where men, it's actually, I believe their dating pool increases. I believe their dating pool increases. When they're 20, not a lot of girls are really interested in them because they don't have anything yet, right? They're not economically stable. They're not there yet. And then they mature a little bit and they figure life out and they get a job. And then all of a sudden, whenever they get a little bit of money and stability, they have a lot more to offer females. And so usually in their mid to late 20s, early 30s, there's probably a lot more girls that would be chasing those individuals. So it's gone drastically different. But she's upset about this whole talking stage. And I think she's upset because a lot of these guys go on a date with her. And first of all, they probably hear her talk and they go, "Ooh, I can't stand listening to this all day long." But I just looked up an article because I was trying to find out some stuff. But right here, most Americans say premarital sex is at least sometimes acceptable. And so right here, sex between unmarried adults in a committed relationship. So you got 25% say never, 9% say rarely, 22% say sometimes, 43% say always. So you got the vast majority of people that say, even if you're premarital sex, it's okay. Like have sex. Then you hear casual sex between consenting adults, not in a committed relationship. 24% said never, 14% rarely, 32% sometimes, 29% always. So you got always and sometimes and rarely, but you got the vast majority of people are open to casual sex. And that's my whole thing is you got more and more, you got the movement that says women should empower themselves by being open sexually and should be out there. And if they want to have sex, they should have sex. Well, here's the deal. Whenever, like I said, this is why as a man, my belief is you don't want a family, why are you going to get married? Because the vast majority of these young women, a lot of them you can find, probably this 25% solid base that never wants to have unmarried sex, never wants to have casual sex, never wants to share photos, never wants to have opening a relationship. I'm going to assume most of those are probably the stern, more religious women that are going to go, yeah, like, that's not right. I don't want to take part in that until I'm married. But you got a huge number of women that are, because guys are pretty much always willing. The only guy that's not willing to have sex are those staunch religious guys, pretty much. I've hardly met anyone that I've heard that and they weren't religious and weren't very religious. So you have this world where women have opened up just handing sex out and casual sex and sex pretty soon. Like, you don't have to go on that many dates. So when a guy starts going out with females and he learns that he can just have sex, like, he doesn't have to put a ring on it. He doesn't even have to date you hardly. He can just talk to you a few times and you let him in bed. Why would he want? You've already given them the best thing that basically you can offer, at least in the interim. Like, if he's not looking for a family, he's not interested in having kids. He just wants to get some and give you that Tinder sauce and then be about his way. And you're giving it to him. Why would he want to give you anything else? Why do you think he would be tied down and be with you and then continue talking with you? I mean, and then you could even threaten to withhold that from him. Like, well, I don't like this, and he's going to okay, and he's going to move on to the next one. Because guess what? There's a million of them behind this thing right here. All he has to do is go swipe right some more times and find it and be a little be patient. But the Tinder and the dating apps have just opened up the world and made it so much easier. It made it easier for guys. If you're halfway good looking and you got a good paying, solid, steady job, your own place, a car, you can go out and kill it on these social apps, on these dating apps. And like it's not difficult. You don't have to go out and meet them at, or you don't have to go, like, usually people used to go to public events or like the bar or something to try to find someone to meet them there and just talk to them. Now you don't even have to leave your home. You sit there and talk to 10 girls at once or 10 guys, So like, that's my whole thing. Why would a guy sacrifice all that and then get put into a position where if he does have kids, say he doesn't even want kids, but then ends up getting married and has kids, and then you get divorced and the woman decides to leave you for whatever reason. It doesn't have to be anything. No fault divorce. She can be gone, and then she's going to take your kids, and you're going to be stuck trying to working out to see them. And I've been divorced. I have a kid in a divorce. It's tough. You got a bitter woman that's going to use those kids against you. I know exactly how that is. And at the same time, you're paying $700 a month for your kid. You only get to see them 15% of the time. And even when that kid's with you for a solid 42 days in summer, you're still paying that $700 to her. You have no accountability where that money's going. You don't know where it's being spent. She could be making 3 times as much money as you. You're still going to pay it. She gets to have that child as a tax credit. You don't. There's all sorts of benefits that are given to women in the situation. And so my thing is, if you can get sex from women, and because men are lustful creatures, that's absolutely true. But if you could get that, if you could have that need fulfilled without ever having to put a ring on it, and risking your retirement, risking your money, risking having to deal with her for 18 years if she decides to leave you because you have a kid together, why would you get married? I don't know. The deal is, I wanted a family, so that's why I got married. And I already had a family, and I wanted to, mend it a little bit. And I think you can do better. But I just, with this whole dating world and what she's so upset about in this whole, this dating scene, it's because probably girls like her, I don't know if she does or not, but I'm going to assume that she probably gives it up. She probably gives it up pretty easy. And so the guy goes, all right, got what I wanted. It was okay. It wasn't the best. I believe I can find more. At least if you hold off for a while and force the guy to kind of work for it, like, he may stick around longer. I don't know. But I guarantee you, if the guy's like not interested at all, but he's going on dates with you, and then you finally give it up to him, like, that definitely doesn't increase your chances of him staying. I don't know. That's the dating world we set up. There's a lot of problems with it. It's brought up a whole new things I think that people weren't anticipating. With I think a lot of the guys that are struggling to compete. I think there's more of them that that are probably getting upset and feel shunned out. But a lot of the women here aren't happy either. You got, especially like I said, in their 30s, and the older the women get, I think it's more difficult. Because guys have more options now. The guys that they want don't want them because the guys that they want have better options. Younger women that don't have baggage, that are younger and have more childbearing years. There's a lot of things that go into this whole dating problem. But I don't know. I feel like that it is rough for women, but at the same time, it's a lot of the world that these feminists have created. The whole Me Too movements. Every guy is absolutely terrified going on a date with a chick. Doesn't want to be alone for a while because you don't know what she's gonna say, or you feel like you've got to have a love contract set up. And I don't know. It's a scary world whenever girls get upset about things and the things they'll do to retaliate against you. So I don't know, man. It's where it'll go from here. I think it's only going to get worse. The divorce rate when I was growing up was like 50%. Now is like 70, 75. It's only getting worse. Families are getting more torn apart all the time. We keep pushing this culture. And like I said, I don't know. I think marriage is a beautiful thing, and I think people should get married and have kids more. But honestly, like, if you're my opinion is, if you're a guy and you don't want a family, I would not get married. I think it's just an unnecessary risk at that point. But I don't know. Let me know what you think. This is a whole big topic that we could go into. This is just one example. This girl saying that she hates this talking phase because it doesn't go anywhere. And then that's my opinion, is it doesn't go anywhere because girls end up giving it up. And then the guy thinks, okay, well, thank you. I've got to experience it, and now on to the next one, because she's going to give it up too. Or someone's eventually going to give it up. So I don't know. It's a whole mess. Let me know what you think, guys. Hit that like button. Until next time, y'all have a great day.